Ladies and gentlemen, today I am afraid we have to talk about a most disgusting subject. However, you must know what possession by evil spirit means. At the same time, you will learn a lot about the relationship between body and soul. You need to know, even more than to physical, you are exposed to spiritual attacks. About occult murder, invisible slayings are incomparably more numerous than the bloody ones. Out of hatred, out of ignorance, out of fear, men send poisoned arrows, the force of which is great. Always keep in mind, you are constantly surrounded by beings from the subtle world, by high ones who support you lovingly, and by low ones who are striving to harm you. What should people do to protect themselves from such invisible corruptors? First of all, they should accept the constant proximity of these malicious neighbors. On the lower astral strata, good feelings are rare. There is a prevailing envy toward everything that lives on earth. Pay attention whom you allow to approach you, who you literally attract to yourself by your thoughts, your words, and your deeds. The dark entities cling to every dark thought. Every thought is in a way a magnet that attracts whatever is similar to it. The Brotherhood itself suffers greatly from the light-mindedness of the inhabitants of Earth, who, instead of defending themselves against these harmful entities, attract them. The thinker, Plato, taught, do not allow demons to approach you. The accounts of the struggles of many saints, for example Saint Anthony the Great, with demons, reveal a profound truth. Possession is one of the possible consequences of such attacks. The ancient knowledge about possession is considered by most to be superstition. This proves the ignorance of today's humanity in spiritual matters. There are many accounts already in the Bible on how Jesus healed possessed people. And when he was come to the other side into the country of the Gergesenes, there met him two possessed with devils, coming out of the tombs, exceeding fierce, so that no man might pass by that way. And behold, they cried out, saying, What have we to do with thee, Jesus, thou Son of God? Art thou come hither to torment us before the time? And there was a good way off from them an herd of many swine feeding. So the devils besought him, saying, If thou cast us out, suffer us to go away into the herd of swine. And he said unto them, Go. And when they were come out, they went into the herd of swine. And behold, the whole herd of swine ran violently down a steep place into the sea, and perished in the waters. Our language knows someone can be not completely with himself, or besides himself, or not master of his own house, or freaking out. Today, this subject is more significant than ever. In fact, about half of humanity is in danger of possession. Do not regard it as an exaggeration that almost half of the planet's population is exposed to the danger of obsession. Have you noticed that there are many possessed people around? Attention needs to be paid to the unprecedented spread of possession, since doing so makes it possible to fight it. First of all, one should understand with whom one is dealing, for to understand means to conquer. We may actually speak of an epidemic. The physician should not be surprised to observe that the symptoms of obsession are assuming the proportions of an epidemic. They are far more numerous than the human mind imagines. Never before has this manifestation of mass obsession occurred. People commit millions of murders. Is it possible that no one realizes that this is a hotbed of obsession? Possessed men can be found in all areas of human life. A complete science is contained in such observation. The physician is correct in wishing to visit not only insane asylums, but also prisons. It would not be out of place to visit the stock exchange also, or the desk of a ship in time of danger. One can observe chronic, protracted, or temporary symptoms. Many crimes are being committed under the influence of possession. It must not be forgotten that many crimes are committed under the influence of obsession. Consequently, such people need to be cured and not punished. The sad truth is, entire countries are being governed by possessed people. Many countries are governed by madmen in the fullest meaning of the word. The thinker said, "At times it happens that when we think we hear the voice of an archont, a ruler in ancient Greece, it is instead some kind of ghost speaking, who is fond of blood-drenched food." We must take up the fight against this epidemic. You must not retreat, but rather join together in putting pressure on the possessed. The Dark Ones try to strengthen themselves through possession, but such methods cannot last very long, for it is precisely through possession that they bring on their own disintegration. What is possession? Your body and your soul are two different beings. After birth, your soul requires about 7 years in order to fully master and make use of its new physical vehicle. While you sleep, your soul moves out of your body and acts in its homeland, the subtle world. After the death of the body, our eternal individuality is supposed to ascend to the spiritual world. However, there are earth-bound souls who do not wish to leave the material plane. They prefer to continue to enjoy the physical pleasures offered down here. It should be understood that many villainies are committed in order to placate some invisible evildoers. People usually call them demons, but it is simpler to call them drags. However, a powerful demon is not needed for the development of obsession. Everyone on earth with a criminal nature is driven to become an obsessor and thus feed his unsatisfied hatred. The entities of the lower strata are fed by earthly emanations and are drawn toward the earthly sphere in an attempt to continue to commit evil. They need not be taught evil. They learned it while in the earthly state and continue to practice it intuitively, because goodness for them is meaningless. On earth, the most insignificant gloomy person can commit sufficient evil, and near him are the subtle entities that know all the delights of evil-doing. Such a lower soul withdraws from its own dead body and then tries to take possession of a foreign living body and to usurp it for its sinister purposes. Of course, this other body has its own soul. The possessor, the occupier, is thus endeavoring to push back and, as far as possible, to push out of the foreign body the soul that lives in it. Possession is the terrible battle of two souls for one body. The problem of possession should be approached scientifically. Two aspects of existence should be remembered. First, the continuity of life through different states. Second, the influence of the will of one being upon another. Thus, beings existing in subtle bodies of different levels can direct thoughts to those on earth. You already know how much the lower spirits try to attach themselves to earthly emanations. We used to compare the body, the tool, with a donkey, and the soul with the rider. In this picture, in the case of possession, two riders fight over one donkey. The sinister attacker literally sits in the neck of the victim and tries to knock him off the donkey. Or, to choose another picture, to drive him out of his earthly dwelling. How ugly is the picture of the obsessing entity trying to expel the subtle vehicle from the body. There can be nothing more hideous than the spectacle of two subtle bodies disputing about one earthly shell.